get ready to thrive loud with Lou Diamond.
Hey, Thrive Loud listeners, Lou Diamond here. For today's mini-sode, we're going back to an episode from the summer of 2018 with Dr. Stefani Reinold. She is a board-certified psychiatrist, women's mental health expert, the author of the best-selling book, Let Your Heart Out, and she now hosts a podcast show as well called It's Not About the Food. We go back and we talk about her HEART method, H-E-A-R-T, which is a self-led therapy tool that she helps the women that she works with. So sit back, relax, and listen to a fun conversation I had with Dr. Stefani Reinold here on Thrive Loud. What are some of the activities that you do to help your moms escape these stereotypes and find the things that they want to do? How do you actually get them from that one point to the next?
The easiest way to do this is a practice I call, and it's an acronym, and I go through this in my book as well, but it stands for HEART, so H-E-A-R-T. And we look at what is the last experience in your life that you had really highly charged emotions around, right? And so let's unpack that. Because sometimes when you can sort of unpack one specific scenario, it helps you kind of gain awareness to the larger issue at hand. Because I could give you tools on how to develop confidence, how to know what you really want, but honestly, it comes down to the day-to-day actions, how am I going to survive day to day? And so that is what I really actually try to work with moms about. Because sometimes we know who we want to be. We have the confidence to intellectually want to do different things. We set these big goals for ourselves, but then it's the day-to-day, it's the day-to-day stressors that sort of all freak us out. And, that's at least the population that I deal with. So the H stands for here and now. So what exactly was happening in that instance? What were your thoughts in the here and now? Not in the past, not in the future. We're not time traveling, getting in the here and now. And that's a little bit like what you're talking about, mindfulness. There's definitely a lot of science about that. Getting in touch with literally what was going on either in that emotionally charged situation, or if you're still in that situation, what's going on right now. Then the E stands for embrace your emotions. So literally what emotion is coming up for you, and being able to identify the emotion and actually process through that emotion is really powerful. So there's a really famous book that I am completely blanking on right now, but it was a neuroscientist that actually... my apologies. I'll look it up afterwards.
We'll look it up afterwards and we'll put it in the show notes and tell people to refer to that link.
Perfect.
That'll work that way. Okay, good.
But it was a neuroscientist, and she herself suffered from a stroke, and she writes the book in kind of gaining her neurosynapses, her power back. But anyway, there is an amazing, phenomenal study in there that proves that your emotions only actually last 19 seconds. So anything beyond 19 seconds is a reliving of a past emotional state. So we women are really good about being emotional, but very bad at actually identifying and feeling our emotions. But every time you avoid those emotions, you're literally just putting that imprint back in your mind to then catastrophize the situation more in the future. When in actuality, if that pure emotion, you just let yourself feel it, it's going to last less than a minute. So after the E then is A, and that is a little bit more nuanced because it stands for analyze your thoughts. And that's where kind of my work comes in, but to really take a deeper step underneath the thoughts you're having. So say, for instance, you got in a fight with your husband because he didn't do the dishes, or the house is a disaster and you wanted him to help, and you're going completely off on him. You're super angry.
This never happens in my house, ever. I don't know what you're talking about. I think this happened 20 minutes ago. No, I'm just kidding. Keep going.
Well, I share the example for a reason, right, Lou? So it never happens in my house either. No, but I guarantee you listening, it has nothing to do with the dishes. It has nothing to do with the dishes. I know that is an easy target, but what does it really have to do with? Maybe you haven't seen your husband all day. You feel unloved. Maybe he is not being supportive in other ways. Maybe, and this goes for men too, vice versa, insert gender here. But I think it has nothing to do with whatever it is specifically. So uncovering that is really important. And then the R stands for reflect on the past. So a lot of times, as Gail mentioned, even in her episode, we're reliving a lot of past trauma, and we're reliving relationship patterns that we had with past people in our lives. So, maybe you saw your mom yell at your dad because he didn't do the dishes. And so you kind of are imprinted with this sort of behavior that every time I'm going to see this, I'm going to yell or react a certain way, kind of like my own mother did with my dad. Or maybe it's in a past relationship you yourself had with somebody and you kind of had these certain rules and standards in your relationship. But really uncovering that, because then it sort of separates the current from the past, and knowing that actually I'm just kind of reliving the past and I don't really want to do that anymore. And then the T is to take actions. Like, what do you actually want to do? Like, do you actually want to communicate logically? Do you actually want to, do something completely different? Do you want to just calm down? Do you want to just go take a bath or go to sleep? Like, what is the action that really is going to fulfill the desires of your heart at that moment in time?
You've been listening to Thrive Loud with your host, Lou Diamond. Make sure to subscribe on iTunes, Overcast, or wherever you get your podcasts. And follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Thrive Loud. Or find us on the web at thriveloud.com.